You're tuned into New Eden FM. Your music, your voice, and your weekly update on all things Eve. This is your
Warp Drive active.
Alright, and this is New Eden's FM State of the War. Now, granted, I do kill a lot of stuff, but at least I was killing a lot of stuff before I had to tackle college finals, right? So until next week, the conclusion of class this term, I'm pretty much not killing anything. Shit. But apparently there is some killing going on here. Please tell us what's going on with this.
Yeah, I mean, Black Lantern would probably be able to tell us a little
Warp
bit
Drive
more
active.
about the not too thermonuclear war that's going on out in the Delaware Fountain area, but supposedly it's gotten a little more interesting in the last week or two. Am I right, Black?
Yeah. Hi, Rosalind. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we had a proper fight back on the timer for YO, which was obviously the centre of black space for it. Before it and but we had a TSC fleet with Fear and Boop, and that fight was against the likes of
Autopilot engaged.
No, and then some other entities that came along for the fight, but we had 400 in system.
Warp Drive
We had
active.
some really great content.
Holy moly.
So we that was the first time I've had a black screen in quite a few months.
Fear split out of Lab is that the evolution of a corp, starts with a corp that joins an alliance, then outgrows the alliance and finds their own new way to run it, splits off to build their own, recruits different members and different corps, and eventually, potentially, takes over.
And one of the things that we're really trying to kind of keep at the forefront of it is learning, not necessarily mistakes, but things that haven't necessarily worked in the past and trying to repeat.
Absolutely. I've had questions that have come to me in the last couple of weeks, especially in the last couple of days now.
Who were members of the management within Black. But equally, as I say, one of the things that we started off with when we did lay that cornerstone of having one of the main groups was that we're very, very open about what we can offer when people join, and equally that it isn't something that becomes, keep it as a really kind of healthy and
Autopilot engaged.
positive atmosphere going forward.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Warp Drive active.
You remember when the space controlled by Happy Bees was taken over by a group called EX, with many of them prominent members that still live there joining this new alliance. They were saying this isn't a rebranding. It isn't just a change in management. It's this is just the new hell.
Autopilot
No,
engaged.
this is a whole new thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think there's so much opportunity, and I think
Warp Drive active.
there's been certain kind of pokes at us being like, oh well, who are you? You're a small group, but that is the evolution of the game. The small groups become big groups, and they don't just start as big groups.
Sure.
I think the other really nice thing with it is if you do have people come and they say, oh well,
Destination
you guys do
docking
this, it's
request
like, well,
accepted.
if we don't do that, that doesn't matter because each of the corps within the group are able to kind of lead, but that's why we are taking on groups that don't necessarily have the same play style as our existing members when they join, but then that becomes a play style that we learn from them and we share the experiences we have with them too.
Mm-hmm. Now how's it gone for you recruiting new corps coming in? I love to see Space Marine Tactical, back in the Dell Fountain area. When they did some mergers and some splitting and some all kinds of restructuring way back in the day, it was like, man, I hope they come back. And here they are. You've dragged them back in, kicking and screaming. Am I right?
Yeah, indeed. So I actually took a little bit of a hiatus and went down to Losec just to do some field pirating. And with some of the guys, they were none. There was their alliance. So that was Pest, SMT, Revs, and a few other guys. They hadn't tried them. And obviously with,
Warp drive
with
active.
the structure that we have, layout that we they could still be themselves. They still have their own Discord, they have their own way of doing things, but they've brought to us kind of battle royale events and some really, really interesting ideas.
Man,
Warp drive
some
active.
interesting ideas last week about ways to change up the clicking system. And I know this has been one of the hot topic things in Q&A and over on the Echoes Discord, is what to do about permaclone. Because I like cameras, but I don't like cameras that aren't, some garbage T1 chip. I like cameras, that are that size. I don't like cameras that can literally wipe out my mining fleet in one go.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with one of the devs that is responsible.
became the king and queen of Gotham City.
And God help anyone who disrespected the queen.
You're a lucky man. Got a bad bitch.
Oh, there she is. The fire in my loins. The itch in my crotch. Oh, the infamous Harley Quinn. Oh, Caldari.
Pardon?
Listen, you are my gifts to this handsome hunka. You belong to him now.
You're cute. You want me? I'm all yours.
I don't want no beef.
You want no beef? You don't want
Why,
no
what's
beef?
wrong?
You don't want no beef?
You don't like me? Fine, don't waste my time then.
This your lady.
Look, are you enjoying?
Tell me how this got in my office?
I put it there.
I think the guards would be interested to know you've been out of your cell.
If you really were going to tell, you already would have. You know, Sweets, I like what I've heard about you, especially the name, Harley Quinzel. Rework it a bit, and you get Harley Quinn.
Like the clown character Harlequin. I know. I've heard it before.
It's a name that puts a smile on my face. It makes me feel there's someone here I can relate to. Someone who might like to hear my secrets.
It took me nearly 3 months to set up a session. I studied all his tricks and gimmicks and felt I was ready for anything.
You know, my father used to beat me up pretty badly.
Anything except that.
Every time I got out of line, bam! Or sometimes I'd be just sitting there doing nothing. Pow! Pops tended to favor the grape, you see.
Uh-huh.
There was only one time I ever saw Dad really happy. He took me to the circus when I was 7. Oh, I still remember the clowns running around, dropping their pants. My old man laughed so hard, I thought he'd bust a gut. So the very next night, I ran out to meet him with his best Sunday pants around my ankles. Hi, Dad! Look at me! Zoop! I took a big pratfall and tore the crotch clean out of his pants! And then he broke my nose. But hey, that's the downside of comedy. You're always taking shots from folks who just don't get the joke. Like my dad. Or Batman.
It soon became clear to me that the Joker, so often described as a raving, homicidal madman, was actually a tortured soul crying out for love and acceptance. A lost, injured child trying to make the world laugh at his antics. And there, as always, was the self-righteous Batman. determined to make life miserable for my angel. Yes, I admit it. As unprofessional as it sounds, I had fallen in love with my patient. Pretty crazy, huh?
Not at all. As a dedicated, career-oriented young woman, you felt the need to abstain from all amusement and fun. It's only natural you'd be attracted to a man who could make you laugh again.
I knew you'd
Are you insane like me? Been in pain like me? Are you insane like me? Been in pain like me? Bought $100 bottle of champagne like me, just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to dry the stain like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Do you tear yourself apart to entertain like me? Do the people whisper about you on the train like me, saying that you shouldn't waste your pretty face like me? You can't wake up, this is not a dream. Your heart is a machine, you are not a human being. We should face all it up, living on a screen. Lower self-esteem, so you run on gasoline. I think there's a flaw in my code. These voices are moving alone. My heart is gold and my hands are cold.